on his Blue Ridge Mountain homestead.
I'm glad we can turn our scrap into something good here.
Yeah, me too.
Eustace Conway is fighting to protect his wilderness sanctuary from an encroachment of real estate developers.
I don't want development here. It's just going to ruin my water supply, ruin my life, ruin my world.
He spent all winter working to pay off a loan on a key plot of land that buffers him from the outside world. But now, with the final payment deadline fast approaching, he's falling short.
Well, we just need to keep working piece by piece, minute by minute, making money.
Yeah.
That's all we can do.
So far, he's liquidated much of his estate and is now relying on his blacksmithing skills to churn out hand-forged items for sale.
We've been building all kinds of little hooks and wall hangers, mementos, curiosities.
But with the small-ticket items failing to bring in the cash they need, budding bladesmith Raleigh's proposed an idea to boost their bottom line.
Raleigh's dabbling in this knife making. It's a more challenging product, but if we can make enough of them and get in production, we can actually make this land payment. Oh, yeah.
This is going to be the quintessential production style knife. You've already got a handle there.
Oh, yeah.
So you've got a handle. All you have to do is forge out the blade.
To make the work pay off, the knives have to be cheap to produce. And a collection of old railroad spikes are a free resource if the steel is top quality.
I wonder how good the carbon content is on these.
We need to test these out. We need to see how well these will work.
Well, the best metal for knives is something that's just a high carbon steel. It's going to be tough and hard and hold an edge for a long time. Let's try this one, Raleigh.
Just like striking flint and steel to start a fire, a grinder shaves off small bits of the metal, exposing its iron atoms to oxygen and resulting in a spark.
It's not looking too good.
If we grind it and it's just a few soft sparks, it just kind of piddly fall off of there, then you're probably looking at a soft metal. Do we have a file?
Yeah.
We know this is good metal.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You see all those fingers?
Yeah, fingers.
Looks like 4th of July fireworks.
That's what we need.
That's good stuff, yeah.
The length, size, color, and quality of the sparks reveal what types of metal are mixed in with the alloy and how much.
If we grind it and you see just sort of a big old sparkly array, that's a high carbon steel. Let's test this one, Raleigh.
Blades require the steel to be hammered thin. Without enough carbon in the metal, they won't be strong enough to hold up to heavy-duty tasks like chopping and cutting.
Man, Raleigh, it looks like this whole pile of spike is just that low carbon content.
Yeah. Well, one idea I'm thinking of old-time tools like axes. You can weld in a high-carbon piece, so you've got high-carbon steel inserted into a low-carbon body.
The low-carbon railroad spikes can be upgraded by splitting and fusing into their core pieces of higher quality metal. The process is time-consuming, but cost-effective if it works.
Yeah, I've got enough files that we could cut some pieces of files and put them in there. Yeah, my payment deadline's coming up real soon. I'm hoping in the next few days we can make 15 of these knives.
The plan is to turn recycled old railroad spikes into big-ticket knives for sale and to use the money to help pay off Eustace's land loan. But before they can forge the blades, they need to upgrade the scrap metal by grafting it together with steel that's strong enough to hold an edge.
If we can get a good piece of high-carbon steel inserted in between the pieces we're splitting, we're going to have a quality knife.
The railroad spike will form the handle and body of the knife. A high-quality bit will form the blade. But first, the steel must be split so it can nest inside.
We want to split this thing right down the middle so we can have an equal amount of steel encapsulating it. Hold up.
Probably a good time to stop it right there.
I think so.
For their high-carbon steel, they're harvesting some old files from Eustace's tool shed.
You want to hot cut it?
Yeah.
The one thing I've learned about that high carbon steel like that, if you get it too hot, it'll just crumble.
Yeah.
Woo.
With both pieces prepped, the bit is carefully hammered into place inside the spike. Next, they will be fused together using a technique called forge welding, where high heat combined with pressure creates a permanent bond.
You get it sort of hot so it'll melt that borax on there.
Borax is a mineral that acts like a flux, an agent that runs off impurities like rust by making them quicker to melt.
Well, you have to coat everything with the flux. Flux helps keep it clean. It's sort of like it keeps trash out of it.
Forge welding is tricky when working with two qualities of steel, each with a different melting point.
Be cautious with it and just realize it's so easy to burn it up. We got to be right on the edge of burning it up.
They have to hold the heat steady between 1,500 and 2,000 degrees.
All right, ready?
Yep. Hey, you're better at shaping a knife. You take it. Oh, man.
It's just, I mean, it's ruined on the tip.
At Eustace Conway's Blue Ridge Mountain Forge.
Oh, man, we got that too hot. Dead gum.
His plans to make some quick cash are crumbling. They've overheated the high-carbon steel bit that is supposed to form the knife blade. And unless they can master the correct formula, their plan for mass production will have to be scrapped.
If this doesn't work out, then we just have to start all over again.
Where all that's crumbling and cracking away,
Yep.
we can draw what we do have out and still salvage a blade out of it.
They can cut off the damaged tip and try reforging it. But the more they work the metal, the thinner it gets.
Well, let's see what we can do with it. In a situation like this, all you can do is draw it out and hope that you still got enough left to finish what you need.
Here you go.
Okay.
You're drawing it out good. Oh, yeah. That's shaping up nicely, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm really liking it. Hey, everything's sticking together and it looks good.
Yeah,
I
you're
feel
doing
great
a great
about it.
job.
It's at a place now where we can finish a blade. We're gonna continue drawing it out and refining the shape of this knife. Just the same old heat, beat, repeat. One thing I like to do when I make a spike knife is twist the handle. It gives it a little flair and it also makes it more comfortable in the hand. That looks awesome. We've still got one big test though. We need to quench this thing and make sure it holds an edge.
Let's quench it.
The final test of all is to quench this blade. We've got to make sure that it'll harden and will hold an edge, or else it's a useless knife. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, there we go.
It worked. It didn't warp, it didn't break, the metal didn't separate. We did it. Nothing left to do but polishing this thing up, seeing how it looks. I'm pumped about this knife.
Well, it's throwing some sparks now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Is that your acid etch there?
Yeah, I'm just using some vinegar. I want to make sure that people can see that we've got different layers of metal in here.
The acid in the vinegar bites into the grooves and textures of the metal, highlighting the contrast between the high and low carbon steel in the blade.
Oh, yeah, I can see the difference.
Wow, check that out.
Yeah.
I can easily see us getting a couple $100 or more out of each one of these.
With that much workmanship in it, yeah.
And think about how many spikes we have. If we keep popping these things out like we did this one, we're not gonna be too far from you having that land paid off.
That's what I'm talking about. Now that we have the first one made, we need to make a whole pile of these knives. This developer, I'm sure he's hoping I won't make this final payment, and he knows probably it's gonna be a tough one. But I've got to prove him wrong. I've got to get this land. Man, we need to get a few irons in the fire here.
We can be making a couple of pieces at a time.
Yeah.